Most drivers are unaware that to a greater extent, the safety of every road user depends on how well you understand the traffic rules that govern the road. As a driver, it is very important to first understand the road markings and junctions for you to drive safely. Is this the true case for most of our drivers? Welcome to Road Matters. I am Fatima Omar. Stay tuned as we enlighten you on road junctions and markings.
Nigerians depend majorly on road transport systems as means of mobility in preference to cycling and walking. Though the rails are back, more rail tracks still need to be constructed to satisfy the people's need. Transport users' behavior have been identified as the main cause of road traffic crashes, even though road users are aware of the possible risk of engaging in unsafe driving behaviors. A lot of times, they continue to engage in it.
This man is not supposed to be here. It's not supposed to move here at all. It's wrong. This one is supposed to move close to this side and not to that side. You can see, this one is not supposed to, they are not, you can see the violation of traffic rules. You can see clear violation. No vehicle is permitted to move on that chevron marking. The only vehicle permitted to move on that chevron marking is the emergency vehicle. No other vehicle is permitted to move on the chevron marking. It is not a decoration. It is for a purpose. Is to clearly delineate the lanes, so that if you are going toward the direction, you just take this side and follow, so that you can queue properly. Follow your lane properly. If there's any vehicle that want to come this way now, it's free now. That's why you see a mark called turn on red. You will see a sign, turn on red. When you see the traffic light, you say turn on red. That's why you have the chevron marking here, to make sure that there's no friction between the vehicles following this way and the vehicles coming straight. So it's a clear sign. But many of them don't know. You can see them now moving on the chevron marking. You can see the road from this direction. There's a road from this direction. And then you can see another lane from here. If you look at it very well, it forms T. It is T. T for tall. You can see T, the shape of T now, clearly formed. So it is called T junction. So if there is no traffic light, the moment you are approaching this point, you must slow down, stop, watch your right, watch your left, and proceed when it is safe for you to proceed. And when you are turning in also, you have to watch. You can see here, we have 3 lanes here. You can see a marking on the road. We have 3 markings here, 2 arrows. The 2 arrows there are pointing to the left, meaning that 2 lanes. For those that are turning to the left, they are free to form 2 lanes. But those that are turning right must not form more than 1 lane. That is what this marking, directional sign, is talking about. This marking is saying that those that are turning left can form 2 lanes. But those that are turning right should form only 1 lane. But here in this situation now, you can see 3 lanes. You can see people forming 3 lanes. They have already blocked the lane of those that are to turn right, which is illegal. It is wrong. Those that are turning left are not supposed to be on this lane. This lane is for only those that are turning right. But you can see those that are turning left now, they have blocked it. So anybody that wants to turn right now cannot have the opportunity of turning to the right now, because they have been blocked. So many drivers don't even know what this road markings means. You can see the sign clearly. The line is clearly marked. It's clearly marked. But you can see them now. Can you see? They are to turn left, but they have blocked the line. You know this is a T-junction. Those that are going straight ahead, they are free to go. So that's why you see that chevron marking is there. So that those that are turning right now will just keep to the extreme right, so that they will not infringe on the right of those that are going straight. You can see those people going straight, and it has turned now. This is a Y junction again. This is a Y junction. You can see at the extreme end a marking, which is another form of chevron marking, demarcating this other lane from this lanes here. You have 2 lanes there, you have 2 lanes here. So in between the 2 lanes, where the lanes got separated, you will see the chevron marking there, showing that no vehicle coming from that direction should pass through it, and no vehicle coming from this other direction should pass through it. But this very marking is an extended one. It's extended in the sense that when you look at it, it's well pronounced. It continues from this direction. It's an extended one. It's not common. It's an extended one. It's not common, but it's an extended one. So what this marking is showing here is that no vehicle should be on this marking. No driver should drive on this marking. No rider should ride on this marking. It is an isolated area, an isolated portion. So you are not permitted to drive on this marking. And so you see this marking. This is a chevron marking. It's a chevron sign. This one is the road marking. This one is a traffic sign. So this is a chevron sign. You can see it in form of arrow or in form of V shape. It's V in shape, and it's also an arrow. So what that chevron chevron traffic sign is telling us is that any vehicle that is going toward the right can move to the right. You are permitted to move to the right. You cannot move to the left. When you see that sign, it's telling you that any vehicle coming from this direction here cannot move to the right. You are only permitted to move to the left lane. So you can see the sign pointing to the right lane. This chevron sign is pointing to the right lane. You are only permitted to move. You are not permitted to move to the left lane. If you look at that direction, you will see that we have 3 lanes there. The 3 lanes we have there, the last lane is meant for vehicles going toward the direction. So we have 2 lanes here, we have 2 lanes here. So you can see 3 lanes. The other lane there is not meant for vehicles to pass. It's for parking. It's a parking lane. But we have 3 lanes here. So you will experience a situation where you have 3 vehicles coming from this direction, and they want to merge into these 2 lanes. In the process of trying to merge into 2 lanes, there will be friction. And so the vehicle on the last lane here will either stop abruptly or climb this place. That's why I see that this place has been damaged over time. There was a traffic sign here before, but because of this type of incidents, that traffic sign has been destroyed by vehicles. that ran into it. So we have seen vehicles running into this very point on several occasions because there is no chevron marking here. There's supposed to be a chevron marking here that will tell motorists that they are not supposed to step on this point. So right from that point, they will have seen that there's a chevron marking here, and they will position themselves appropriately to avoid friction. But where there is no chevron marking to checkmate the drivers, to guide the drivers, you will see them forming 3 lanes, and they will run into this place in the process of competing for the lanes. That is what has been happening here over time. This is another Y junction. This is a Y junction, but without chevron marking. At that end there's supposed to be a chevron marking there that will guide the vehicles going toward the direction so that there will be no infringement. But when you look at that point now, there's no chevron marking. Look at the blocks laid there. Look at the median, the road median there. You will see that there has been a reduction in the height of the road median there. This was caused by vehicles running into that road median, because you see about 3 vehicles coming from this direction. Instead of 2, you now have 3 lanes. So for them now to merge into 2 lanes here will become a problem. And before you know it, the last vehicle over there will run into that road median and destroy it. That's why I see that there has been a repeated destruction of the road median there, because there is no chevron marking that is supposed to be there. So there's supposed to be a chevron marking there. Another thing I want us to look at is, when you look at this place, for example, they have done this once now to make it easy for vehicles to come into this place. But they have created a problem here. The problem that's causing the challenge is that you look at the vehicles that are parked there. Some of them are already occupying the lanes, so thereby forcing the vehicles to be on this other side. So ordinarily, you know you are going to turn left, you ought to have positioned yourself far ahead to the left-hand side, so that you not confuse the vehicles coming behind you. So the vehicles coming behind you will have known your intention, that you are going to the right. But when you know you are going to the right and you are now moving from the fast lane, just like what this one did now, right from the 3rd lane, he crossed to the 1st lane, which is wrong. That's how a trailer should turn, because it's long. It needs a wider space to make a turn. So that is why we are telling drivers that they must always give enough room to trailers to turn, because trailers always need a wide range. They need a wide space to turn. So you have to give them that room. Here in Nigeria, many drivers don't use their common sense. So that sign should be repositioned in order not to confuse drivers. But it's ideal, we know, that you have to give way to the vehicle on your left-hand side. That is the common rule. But since we already have signs here that will further guide the drivers, the sign should be well and properly positioned. Just like you have at a roundabout, you give way to the vehicle on your left at roundabouts. But in this situation now, there is a traffic sign. And that traffic sign is to further guide the drivers as to whom to give way to whom. Here, we are supposed to have this sign on the right-hand side if you want the right-hand vehicles to give way to the left-hand vehicles. And if you want to reverse the order and you want the vehicles on the left to give way to the vehicles on the right, then that sign should be repositioned to the left-hand side so that it will make it clear. As it is now, it is ambiguous and confusing to motorists. If you look at that Y junction now, there's no chevron marking there. Everywhere you see Y junction, there must be chevron marking to prevent friction. It is compulsory that everywhere you have a Y junction there must be a chevron marking there, which will properly guide the movement of vehicles to prevent friction or any incident. This is a common sight in Abuja, in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, and some other cities. This is an open manhole. Initially, when the road was constructed, they put an iron slab on it. That was the mistake made. They should have used a concrete cover that will not be stolen. Now that it has been stolen, it is now very dangerous, not only to motorists but also to pedestrians. If a vehicle should run into this manhole, the tire can burst, the driver can lose control of the vehicle, and an accident can occur. And if it rains, the manhole will be covered, will be filled up with water, and before you know it, a pedestrian can enter into it, can get injured here. So it is very dangerous the way it is. So the government should not leave the manholes open like that. You can see the number of manholes that are open, wide open. They are dangerous to motorists, they are dangerous to pedestrians. So it is very important for the government to do something about it so that it can be covered, no more with iron, but with concrete slab that will not be stolen. Here we have 3 lanes, but the lanes are not marked. This is a 3-lane road. It's a 3-lane road, but not marked. The lanes are not marked. And because the lanes are not marked, coupled with the fact that most drivers don't even understand the lane rules, they drive anyhow without keeping to the lanes. You can look at those vehicles parked on that lane. They have already occupied 1 lane of the road. Now, you can see the refuse bin there. You can see the refuse bin here. This refuse bin has been there for years. I've been monitoring this refuse bin for over 1 year now. And that's why where the refuse bin is. Sometimes we see refuse overflowing to the road, blocking a whole lane of the road. It has been like that consistently. If you look at that direction very well, you will see that pickup van. That pickup van has been there for months, for several months, blocking the road. It has been there for several months. If you move close, you will see the tires. You will know that this vehicle has been there for several months. You can see this other lane blocked, this other lane blocked. So the whole lane has been narrowed, that when a big truck like a trailer is coming now, the lanes will not be enough to accommodate the 2 vehicles, thereby causing traffic jam. So when you come to this side also, this is supposed to be the pedestrian walkway. You can see vehicles parked on the pedestrian walkway, and you can see traders there. They are frying yam, they are frying akara, they are frying fish, they are cooking rice, they are selling food there. It is very dangerous and risky for any pedestrian to even walk past that place for fear of fire, for fear of hot oil. And that is supposed to be the pedestrian walkway. But what we have there now is a trading zone. Thereby compelled, you can see pedestrians now being forced to walk on the vehicle lane. This is supposed to be the vehicle lane, but pedestrians have been forced to use the vehicle lane because the pedestrian lane has been blocked with vehicles and with cooking utensils and by traders. These are the challenges. People, the road users, are not respecting the rights of other road users. They are not respecting the lanes of other road users. There is infiltration into other road users' lanes.
As a driver, make sure you know your roads, junctions and codes to understand the road.
It should not matter if you're on a major road or not. Whenever you're driving through that junction or intersection, always keep in mind that there might also be another car crossing or approaching. Here are some tips.
Watch out and pay attention to the existing traffic. Ensure you are looking out for motorcyclists or cyclists at the side or ahead of you. Do not prove stubborn. Remember, pride goes before a fall. Give room to traffic that is on the major road. And then drive through in a safe manner by obeying all available signals. Always use the right indicator. Emergency lights or double trafficators are not meant for signaling you are crossing an intersection or going straight and should be stopped. They are meant strictly for emergency purposes. Many Nigerian drivers get it wrong most times. Whenever you find yourself in a roundabout, try looking out for other cars that are crossing in front of you. Apply the MSM, mirror signal maneuver. Never move out of your lane without following the MSM formula for lane change or overtaking. Never overtake at a bend, on a bridge, at a junction, roundabout, or overcrowded environment. Always give way to the traffic on the left.
If all drivers go through the rules and recommendations, indeed if Nigerians stick to them, road rage, insensible traffic congestions, and road accidents will be greatly minimized. This is where we end the program this week. You can stay in touch with the program on our social media handle, on Twitter, or send a mail to roadmatters@nta.ng. Until the next episode, I am Fatima Umar. Be cautious and know all traffic rules before you drive. Bye-bye.